It was in the early decades of the 20th century, amid the dusty plains of Punjab, that whispers of an ancient civilization began to emerge from the earth. Local villagers, unaware of the monumental significance lying just beneath their feet, would often collect baked bricks from a mound not far from the small town of Harappa to use in railway construction or other building work. These bricks, hard and uniform, were relics of a bygone era, preserved through millennia by the Indus River's embrace, yet their origins remained a mystery. The story of Harappa's discovery begins in earnest with a British engineer named Daya Ram Sani, an employee of the Archaeological Survey of India. The year was 1921. On assignment in the Punjab region, Sani arrived at the site, set to investigate rumors of unusual mounds where ancient objects and bricks were being unearthed. Initial surveys revealed little, beyond a few surface artifacts and the remarkable size of the site, but Sani's instincts, sharpened by experience, told him there was more, much more waiting below. As his team scraped away the soil and dust, the first sign of a missing puzzle piece appeared. A series of elaborately carved seals. These tiny, square-shaped objects were covered with mysterious symbols and pictures of animals, most notably a unicorn-like creature and humped bull. No one could yet read the script, and it looked unlike any known to India's history at that time. The presence of these seals pointed irresistibly toward an advanced and organized culture. As the dig continued, massive walls and platforms of burnt brick began to emerge, forming the outlines of streets and what appeared to be large public buildings or granaries. The geometry and precision of the city's layout stunned the early archaeologists. Streets, running in strict grid patterns, suggested careful urban planning. Drainage systems wound beneath the roads, and brick-lined wells provided water at regular intervals. With each passing day, more artifacts surfaced. Ceramic pottery, sometimes plain, sometimes painted with simple but elegant motifs, lay scattered amidst the debris. Fragments of copper tools, beads made from carnelian and lapis lazuli, and terracotta figurines hinted at a culture with skilled artisans, traders, and a rich domestic life. The clues pointed not to a solitary village, but to a thriving urban center, the likes of which had not been seen on the subcontinent. Word of Sahni's discoveries reached John Marshall, then the Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India. Recognizing the potential significance, Marshall authorized further, larger-scale excavations. The team, now working in earnest, soon recognized the true importance of what they had found. Harappa was not an isolated curiosity, but the visible crest of a vast interlinked society that had flourished thousands of years earlier. Excavations became methodical and systematic, as shafts were sunk deeper into the mounds. Each layer offered a new window into the past. Workers uncovered streets flanked by houses, some containing private bathrooms connected to covered drains, an astonishing feat of engineering for a city of such antiquity. The granary, an imposing structure with thick brick walls and channels that perhaps carried cool air or aided in storage, was unearthed. Archaeologists theorized that food was not just stored for locals, but possibly distributed or traded beyond the city's walls. The finds also came with mysteries. The writing on the seals, carved in short lines and pictographs, resisted every attempt at decipherment. Documents of the time noted that the script was unlike that of contemporary Sumeria, Egypt, or China. Historians realized that Harappa represented a civilization contemporaneous with those great riverine cultures, but whose history had been entirely lost to time, its script and spoken words silent for millennia. As teams moved beyond Harappa, they unearthed other sites, Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, Dholavira, stretching across what is now Pakistan and western India. The artifact styles, city layouts, and types of seals all showed striking similarities. It soon became evident that these cities were part of a single, vast civilization, now referred to as the Indus Valley Civilization, or Harappan Civilization, named after that first great discovery. But the excavation at Harappa itself would continue to yield valuable insights. In foundations of homes, beads of semi-precious stones suggested a vast trade network, perhaps stretching to Central Asia, the Persian Gulf, and even Mesopotamia. Skeletal remains, often accompanied by simple personal effects and occasional pottery, revealed aspects of burial practices, sometimes with grave goods, sometimes without. The presence of toys, miniature carts, animals on wheels, and figurines hinted at the innocence of childhood, carried on even in the shadow of ancient sophistication. One of the most surprising revelations was the evidence of egalitarian urban planning. The Great Citadel Mound, though distinctly larger, and perhaps the seat of administration or ritual, lacked the ostentatious palaces or tombs found in ancient Egypt or Mesopotamia. Instead, the houses, although varied in size, followed similar building methods and ornamentation, reinforcing the impression of a more communal rather than hierarchical society. Over the succeeding decades, new methods, stratigraphy, carbon dating, chemical analysis of artifacts, deepened the understanding of Harappa. Predictions about the city's age became more precise. These ancient builders had constructed their cities between 2600 and 1900 BCE, making them among the earliest urban cultures known to history. Questions arose, however, about the civilization's demise. Archaeologists observed that some layers at Harappa showed evidence of sudden abandonment, damaged buildings, and even human skeletons trapped beneath collapsed walls. Some early theories posited invasions or floods as causes, but more nuanced interpretations emerged. Climate change, shifts in river courses, overexploitation of resources, or a gradual decline in social cohesion may all have contributed over centuries. Yet, there was an intangible, almost poetic quality to the civilization revealed at Harappa. The sophistication of its city plan, the widespread use of standardized brick sizes, the meticulous layout of drains and granaries, and the evocative seals all speak of a people comfortable in their ingenuity, yet enigmatic in their silence. No monuments proclaim their rulers' names. No grand epic tells of their triumphs and tragedies. What remains is the artifice, the city's bones, and the scripts no scholar has yet deciphered. Through the later 20th and early 21st centuries, fresh excavations at Harappa refined these conclusions. Advanced satellite imagery allowed researchers to map the ancient riverbeds and help explain how shifts in the Ravi and Sutlej rivers may have impacted the settlement's fate. Chemical analysis of human remains provided glimpses into diet, disease, and even mobility. Pottery shards, when analyzed for residues, pointed to meals of barley, wheat, and possibly dairy products. The ongoing rediscovery of Harappa is not a story of ancient dust alone, but of a sustained dialogue between the past and present. Each new find, a bead, a child's toy, a broken seal, adds whispers to the story of one of humanity's earliest urban experiments. The site's preservation, amid population growth and modern pressures, remains a challenge, but it endures as the foundation stone of our shared South Asian heritage. Generations after Sani's first tentative steps atop the mounds, Harappa continues to captivate. Its artifacts now reside in museums across the world, where they are studied, pondered, and admired. Yet, the true wonder of Harappa is not merely in its bricks or seals, but in the realization that this ancient city was once home to tens of thousands of people, farmers, artisans, traders, children, who lived, loved, and dreamed nearly 5,000 years ago in a city as organized, complex, and vital as any the world has ever known. The journey from accidental discovery to scientific excavation at Harappa represents one of archaeology's great triumphs. It transformed our understanding of early civilization, proving that vast, organized urban communities had arisen in the Indian subcontinent just as surely as in Egypt and Mesopotamia. The ground beneath Harappa still holds secrets, while its story, born of the interplay between soil, scholars, and the curiosity of generations, will continue to unfold, offering inspiration and mystery alike to those who seek to know how the past shapes the present.